There's so many words to describe him. I think the one that I would use to describe him is fearless. His grandparents migrated to Australia from Scotland and they had a farm and he was working on the farm, but the only thing he ever really wanted to be when he was a kid was a pilot. Because he hadn't passed his flying theory test, he wasn't eligible to have a licence. But in his mind, if I can fly a plane, I can fly a plane. Having a pilot's licence doesn't make me a pilot. He eventually got in a position where he bought himself a Tiger Moth and taught himself how to fly. And so he would fly. And he flew for 13 years without a pilot's licence, barnstorming and getting practice and becoming really, really proficient. He was a really awesome dad. He'd always just say, "Lovey, I'm so proud of you," or like out of the blue, or "I think, you've done really well," even if I hadn't really done anything. I remember when I was 10 years old, he said, "Lovey, you're going to grow up and you're going to go and be a doctor, and I'm not going to be around to see it." That was sort of the first time that it really dawned on me that he was, an older dad. We had to have a family meeting to discuss what would happen with his end-of-life care, and we'd never had that conversation. And Dad kept saying, "No, I'm right, I need to go home, I'm right, I'll be right, there's nothing wrong with me, I need to go home." And he kept saying this throughout the meeting, and then there was this moment where I was sitting next to him and I was holding his hand, and he looked up and he looked around and he was like, "Oh, we're having a meeting." And I was like, "Yeah, Dad, it's about you." And he's like, "Something's wrong, hey?" And I'm like, "Yeah, something is wrong." And he's like, "Oh, shit." And he grabbed my hand really, really tightly. I made a mental note to myself that the next few days I just needed to be strong, and we needed to give him a reassurance and comfort that it was all going to be okay. I'd heard about this website, karma.wiki, and what I initially did on it was use it as a way to write thank you cards. I thought, what if we could write a letter not of thanks, but a letter of tribute to someone, to commemorate not just an event that they succeeded at, but their life. Dad, we've got some surprises for you, Dad.
Are you all right? Because all of this is you have grandkids. Amazing, both families here. No family.
So I contacted all my friends and family and I invited them to write their letters on the website the way that I had. And we set a date that we were going to read the letters out to Dad. It was originally going to be his 90th birthday, but he started declining, so we had to move the date forward. How about you hold this, buddy, and I can read them all out.
Okay.
That way I won't get emotional. You flew the 172 home by rolling it side to side for nautical miles on end to shake the fuel from one tank into the other and back again, and doing so making sure that enough fuel would run through the engine to keep it firing and the propellers spin. You absolute champion.
Did you hear that time? Hi, Father Gerard.
Hi, Father G. We're just telling stories. I noticed that there were so many patterns around what people decided to say about Dad. These little details about Dad drinking extraordinarily black cups of tea or whistling every time he came into the driveway, and some of his catchphrases, which I can't repeat. I just felt this sense of love and joy and excitement and just humour. The whole thing was hilarious. I never expected to laugh so much. I'm glad Granddad had good taste in women.
Classic. Did you hear that time?
What kept going through my head was the last thing that goes is their hearing. So all I wanted to do was make sure that all the things that he was hearing in the last few hours were just reinforcements of how awesome he was. My experience of every day is so much sweeter because of everything you've given me. You gave me the chance to live in a world that would otherwise have been closed to me. You encouraged me to challenge the status quo. You backed me to shatter gender and racial stereotypes. You backed me to flourish, grow, and exceed my expectations for life. You, with your fiery and effervescent spirit, have inspired, delighted, and transformed anyone who's ever met you. You're an unforgettable man, and you've made me so proud. I'm so glad us crazy April birthday buddies got to have the time of our lives.
together. Love, Katrina.
He passed away feeling totally loved and calm, hearing people say how much they cared about him, and my mum patting him on the head, and we were all there. We were all there when he took his last breath. I felt just so happy. I just felt so happy that he got the chance to know, because I think the most important thing is that he got the chance to know how important he was to everyone.